Good morning everyone. We shall continue with the third chapter, triangles. In a last class, we have seen the test for the congruency of the triangles. 5 tests were there, which are there: SAS, ASA, SSS, SAA and hypotenuse side test. So in order to prove any two given triangles are congruent, we have to use one of these tests. And if you are told the given triangles are congruent, then what do you understand by that? The corresponding angles are congruent, corresponding sides are also congruent. Okay. Then based on this property, we have proved the isosceles triangle theorem, also the converse of it. Now, I have a right angle triangle drawn on the board. Triangle ABC, where B is 90 degree. Angle B is 90 degree. Suppose this is the other acute angles are 60 degree and 30 degree. 60 degree and 30 degree. So what do I have? Right angle triangle where the acute angles are 60 degree and 30 degree. Okay. Then the side opposite to 30 degree, which is the side opposite to 30 degree, BC. Then the side opposite to 30 degree, that is BC, equal to half of hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? AC. This is a property of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. This is a property of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. What does it say? The side opposite to 30 degree is half of the hypotenuse. The side opposite to 30 degree is half of the hypotenuse. Now we have to prove this theorem. To prove what is given to us, what is the antecedent? Antecedent is we have a right angle triangle where the acute angles are 30 and 60 degrees. What do we have to prove? We have to prove that the consequent is BC is half of AC. The theorem is simple, easy to understand. There are main 3 things that you should remember in this theorem. From the antecedent to consequent, when we reach to get the result, there are 3 things that you should remember. Okay, what are the 3 things? First is the construction. What construction are we going to do? Then once we construct, we get 2 triangles. And then our part is to prove these 2 triangles are congruent. And then you will show that big triangle is equilateral triangle. So these are the 3 parts. First, construction. Second, show that the 2 triangles are congruent. Then the big main triangle is an equilateral triangle. Then you will end up with whatever is asked to you. So what is the first part I said? Our first part is the construction. Now what construction are we going to do? The construction is extend CB to D in such a way that BC is equal to BD. I repeat, what is the construction? Extend CB to D in such a way that BC is equal to BD. That is very important to mention, that BC is equal to BD. And then join A to D. So the first part is over, the construction. We have done the construction. What was the construction? Extending CB to D in such a way BC is equal to BD. Okay. Now, if this is 90 degree, this also will be 90 degree because this gives you a linear pair. Okay. Now what is the second part? To show that the triangles are congruent. Now we have 2 triangles over here. Now we have to show these 2 triangles are congruent. Just look for a minute and see whether you can show these 2 triangles are congruent. Which are the triangle? ABC and ABD. Just look for a second and see if you can prove whether the 2 given triangles are congruent. It is very simple. Just look at it. Any clue? Okay. In the last class I told you, whenever you see 90 degree or right angle triangle, first check with hypotenuse side test. Now, look at the hypotenuse of these triangles. Which are the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is AC and AD. Is anything told to you about it? Nothing. So, in this case, you cannot prove that the given two triangles are congruent by hypotenuse side test. Okay. Then, which test are we going to check it? Consider triangle ABC and triangle ABD. Tell me what are the things given to you. Angle B is equal to, angle B I mean angle ABC equal to angle ABD. Both are 90 degree because this is a linear pair. Then you have side BC is equal to side BD, that is your construction. You have constructed it in such a way. What else do you have? Look at side AB. Side AB is equal to side AB because it is a common side. It is a common side. So you look at what have we got? Side, this angle and this side. So by which test can you show these two triangles are congruent? We are saying that therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD. By which test? We are showing by SAS. By SAS test, these two triangles are congruent. Okay. So we have shown a second part. Show that the triangles are congruent. Now what is the third part? Show that main triangle is an equilateral triangle. Now which triangle are we talking about? We are talking about triangle ACD. We have to show this an equilateral triangle. Okay. Now to show that this is an equilateral triangle, we have to consider from here. Look at this angle. If this is 30 degree, this also will be 30 degree. If this is 60 degree, this also will be 60 degree. Why? Corresponding angles are congruent from here. So what is that next one? Angle CAB is equal to angle DAB. Why? CACT. Corresponding angles of congruent triangle. Similarly, angle C is equal to angle D. Look here, angle C is equal to angle D. Corresponding angles of the congruent triangle. So you are getting these two angles are congruent. That means this is 60 degree, this is 60 degree and this is 60 degree. Now which triangle are we talking about? We are talking about triangle ACD. I am erasing it. I suppose till here everything is clear to you. Okay. So in triangle ACD. Now look at only triangle ACD. All three angles are 60 degree. Therefore it is an equilateral triangle. If it is an equilateral triangle, the corresponding sides are also equal. All sides are equal. That is AC is equal to AD is equal to CD. All three sides are equal, isn't it? Now, look at what do we want. What we want, what are we supposed to show? We have to show here side opposite to 30 degree. That is, we have to show BC is equal to half of AC. BC is equal to half of AC. Where do we get BC? BC we get in DC. So we will take only these two. So from here we get AC is equal to CD. I can write half of AC is equal to half of CD. I am just multiplying both the side with half. Now what is my half of CD? This is my entire CD. Half of CD I can write it as BC because both are equal. That is how we constructed. So we have reached half of AC is equal to BC. That is BC is equal to half of AC. This is what we are supposed to prove. Theorem is very simple. What does the theorem say? This is a property of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. Okay, 30, 60, 90 degree. Where the side opposite to 30 degree is half of the hypotenuse. What is given to us? A triangle, right angle triangle where the acute angles are 30 and 60 degree. What do we have to prove? Side opposite to 30 degree is half of the hypotenuse. There are three main steps over here. First, construction. What was the construction? Extend CB to D in such a way BC is equal to BD. Next, show these two triangles are congruent. By which test? SAS. Though it is a right angle triangle, we cannot show by hypotenuse side test. So we are using SAS test. Then consider the main triangle. We will get this an equilateral triangle. So the sides are also equal. Then you multiply half on both the sides. You will end up with what you are asked for. Okay. The theorem is on your textbook, page number 35. There are some parts given to you as a fill up blank over there. So please fill in and you have to write this theorem in your notebook. Okay. This is all about 30, 60, 90 degree. Now, I have another right angle triangle over here. Okay. Suppose if the acute angles are 45 degrees. Suppose the acute angles are 45 degrees. There the acute angles were 30 and 60. Then the side opposite to 30 degrees, half of the hypotenuse. Here acute angles are 45 degree. Then the sides forming the right angle. Which are the sides forming the right angles over here? Are Q and PQ. These are the sides forming the right angle. They are half of the hypotenuse. They are half of the hypotenuse. I repeat. In a right angle triangle where the acute angles are 45 degrees each, then the sides forming the right angle, that is the base and the height, okay, the length of them is half of the hypotenuse. Here also opposite of 30 degrees, half of the hypotenuse. Here the length of base and the height will be half of the hypotenuse. This also is a theorem which you are supposed to prove. You get it in page number 36. It is given to you as an activity. So please look at it, read it and fill in there with the necessary details over there. We are not going in detail for this theorem, but this property you should know it by heart. This theorem we will prove when you come back. Till then we will leave it like this. But I wanted to learn the property of it. Okay. Now, we shall recall something we have learnt. That is median. Do you remember what you have learned about median? Just try to recall what you learned about median. Are you able to recall what you have learned about median? What is median? Median is a segment. I repeat, median is not a line, not a ray. It is a segment joining the vertex. These are the vertices of the triangle. Vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. It's a segment joining the vertex to the midpoint. This is a midpoint, okay, to the midpoint of the opposite side. So the median starts from the vertex. The origin of the median is from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay. How many medians can I draw? I can draw 3 medians over here. Why? Because there are 3 vertices. Okay. From each vertex, one median arises to the opposite side. Now, when you have 2 lines meeting at one point, we call them a point of intersection. And these lines are intersecting lines. When there are more than 2, they are known as concurrent line and the meeting point is called as point of concurrence. Okay. Now, the point of concurrence of medians is known as centroid and is denoted by the letter capital G. I repeat, the point of concurrence of medians of a triangle is called as centroid, denoted by the letter G. There is a speciality of this centroid. This centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. I said median originates from the vertex. So it divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. Let us say that suppose from A to G is 4 centimeter. Then from G to, suppose this is D. From G to D it will be 2 centimeter. Means it will be half of it. Similarly, B to G, this is 6 centimeter, then this will be 3 centimeter. Suppose this is 8 centimeter, then this will be 4 centimeter. So the centroid divide the median in the ratio of 2:1. We should remember this property because we will be using it later in the sums. Okay. Now I have a right angle triangle over here. The median from the right angle to the hypotenuse. From here it will be to the opposite side. Okay, this will be the median. Suppose I name this as A. So QA. QA, length of QA is equal to half of the hypotenuse. Again, this is a median. QA is a median. The length of the median is half of the hypotenuse. Now, with respect to hypotenuse and the length of other side, this is the third property we are learning. First was in a 30, 60, 90 degree. Side opposite to 30 degrees, half of the hypotenuse. In 45, 90 degree, the length of sides, the base and the height is half of hypotenuse. Here, the length of the median on the hypotenuse, length of the median on the hypotenuse is also half of the hypotenuse. I suppose till here the properties are clear to you. What is a median? Median is a segment joining the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. The congruent point of all three medians of a triangle is known as centroid, denoted by capital G. G divide the median in the ratio of 2:1. So based on these properties, we have the next practice set. Take the next practice set. Practice set 3.3. Practice set 3.3. Find the values of x and y using the information given in figure 3.37. Find the measures of angle ABD and angle ACD. Okay. Now, first you look at triangle ABC. Look at triangle ABC. All of you can see the diagram over there, isn't it? Now look at triangle ABC. What can you say about triangle ABC? There is something marked on the triangle. What does it indicate? It says that triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. If it is an isosceles triangle, the angle opposite to equal sides are also equal. So what can you say about angle X? Angle X also is equal to 50 degree. Okay. So the next one, triangle BDC. Look at triangle BDC. Similarly, something is marked on side BD and DC. They are saying it is congruent. So what can you say about triangle BDC? Again, it is an isosceles triangle. Therefore, y will also be equal to 60 degree. Okay. Now you look at angle ABD. Angle ABD. Now what is angle ABD? Angle ABD is angle ABC plus angle CBD. Now ABC you have got 50 degree and CBD you have got 60 degree. So how much will it be? Add and get it. Similarly you will get ACD. Now I repeat the steps. How are you supposed to solve it or how are you supposed to write it? First draw the diagram, rough diagram at the side of it. Then the first step will be in triangle ABC, angle ABC equal to x equal to 50 degree, bracket reason isosceles triangle. In triangle BDC, angle BCD equal to y equal to 60 degree, bracket reason isosceles triangle. Next step, angle ABD equal to x plus 60 degree, that is 50 plus 60 degree, how much ever. Similarly, angle ACD equal to 50 plus y, that is equal to 50 plus 60 equal to how much ever. This is how you write the steps for it. Okay. The next one, the length of the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 15 degree. They are talking about a hypotenuse. What is the length of the hypotenuse? 15 centimeter. Okay, unit is not given to you, it is only 15. Okay, the length of hypotenuse of a triangle, right angle triangle, is 15. Find the length of the median of its hypotenuse. So this is the median to the hypotenuse. They are not mentioned any naming. Okay, so this is given to you as 15 degree. So what can you write over there? You can directly write the answer. The length of the median is equal to half of hypotenuse. That is equal to half into 15. That is equal to 7.5 units. Because it is not mentioned to you whether it is centimeter or meter. Question number 3. In triangle PQR, Q is 90 degree. So draw the diagram properly. You have a triangle PQR where Q is 90 degree. So make sure that Q is 90 degree. Okay. PQ. PQ is 12. PQ is 12. QR is 5. QR is 5. QS is the median. QS. So it will be to the hypotenuse. So this is S. QS is the median. Find length of QS. Now you can find the length of QS median if you know the hypotenuse. That is what we have done over here. Length of the median is equal to half of the hypotenuse. Now how do we get the hypotenuse over here? This is something you have learned in the lower classes. Pythagoras theorem. You remember Pythagoras theorem? What does it say? Hypotenuse square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. So you will write over here PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. Reason Pythagoras theorem. Okay. Now what you are supposed to find? PR square. PQ square is 12 square plus QR square is 5 square. How much is 12 square? 144 plus 5 square is 25. How much are you getting? 169. That is PR square. Therefore, how much is your PR? PR is equal to square root of 169. That is equal to 13. So you got PR. Now since you got PR, therefore QS is equal to half of PR. That is equal to half into 13. That is equal to. You will write. Again, you will not put a unit over there because it is not given to you over there. Okay. Let us look at question number 4. In the figure 3.38, point G is the point of concurrence of the medians. That is, G is the centroid. If GT is equal to 2.5, GT is equal to 2.5. Remember, G is the centroid. We have learned some property of centroid. Centroid divide the median in the ratio of 2:1. Okay. What is asked to you? Find the length of PG. If this is 2.5, how much will PG be? You will have that PG is equal to 2 into 2.5, that is equal to 5 units. Why? You have to write the reason. Centroid divide the median in the ratio of 2:1. Next, you are supposed to find out PT. PT is equal to PG plus GT. How much is your PG? 5 plus 2.5, that is equal to 7.5. Again, units are not given to you, so you will be writing it in the form of units. 7.5 units. Okay, that is what you will write. Now, there is some properties which we have to learn in order to solve the next problem set. These are some theorems actually you are supposed to learn. We will not be learning the entire theorem, but we will be learning the properties of it. What is the theorem statements are that we have to learn. Okay. That is, the first one is perpendicular bisector theorem. All of you know what is a perpendicular bisector? If I draw a segment AB, what do you mean by a perpendicular bisector? perpendicular bisector is a line making AB into two equal half, that this part is equal to this, and also the angle created over here will be 90 degree. That is the meaning of perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular 90 degree, bisector two equal half. Now, according to the perpendicular bisector, any point lying on the perpendicular bisector, any point lying on it. Suppose I have a point lying over here. I am naming this S. Any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Which are the end points of the segment A and B? Equidistance means they are in equal distance from the end points of the segment. That is, you can say that AS is equal to BS. AS is equal to BS. Equidistant means equal distance from the end points. Any point lying on the perpendicular bisector. Suppose I have one R over here. You are told that R is on the perpendicular bisector or segment AB. Then directly you can say that AR is equal to BR. So any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Vice versa also. That is, if point R in equidistant from A and B, then R is lying on the perpendicular bisector. You are told that R is equidistant from A and B, then R lies on the perpendicular bisector of AB. Or if you are told that AR is equal to BR, you are told that AR is equal to BR, which is a common point in both R. That means R lies on the perpendicular bisector of AB. So this theorem is clear to you. What is the perpendicular bisector theorem? Any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Similarly, we have angle bisector. I have an angle ABC. This is an angle bisector. Okay, I have P over here, point P. Any point lying on the angle bisector is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Any point lying on the angle bisector is equidistant from the arms of the angle. Similarly, that means if I name this as Q and this as R, then you can say PQ is equal to PR. Any point lying on the angle bisector is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Similarly, if you are told that PQ is equal to PR, then you can directly say that P lies on the angle bisector. That means this angle will be equal to this side angle. So this is the perpendicular bisector theorem and the angle bisector theorem. Okay. There is something more that we should learn. There are some more theorems over there. As I said, we are not talking about the theorem. I have triangle ABC. BC is equal to 6 centimeter. Is equal to 7 centimeter. And this is equal to 8 centimeter. Okay. How do we know that we can construct a triangle if the length of the sides are given to us? How do we find out whether we can construct a triangle given the length of the side? For that, we have to add the length of any two sides. That should be greater than the other side. You add any two side length, it should be greater than the third one. Add any two, it should be greater than the third one. Then only you can say that, suppose this was 25, AB is equal to 25. Can you construct a triangle with the measures 6, 7 and 25? You cannot. Why? Add 6 plus 7, 13. Is 13 greater than 25? No. So you cannot construct it. It is smaller than this. Okay. So whenever we are given the measures of the length of the triangle, add any two sides, check out whether it is greater than the third one. Okay. Now, when I ask you in this triangle, you will tell me AB is greater than AC greater than BC. Right? AB greater than AC greater than BC. Why? Because AB is 8, 7, then 6. Surely it's 87. Now, by looking at it, can you tell me which angle will be greater? Which angle will be greater? The angle opposite to greater side. Which is the greater side over here? AB. So, the angle opposite to greater side is C. So, C is greater. Next, opposite to AC is B. Greater. Opposite to 6 is A. Okay, this is another property, that the angle opposite to greater side is greater. The angle opposite to smaller side is smaller. Similarly, if the angles are given to you and you are asked which is the greater side, then you can say that the side opposite to greater angle is greater and the side opposite to smaller angle is smaller. Is that clear to you? These are the points, these are the properties you should learn by heart. It is useful always. Okay. So, take the last page of your notebook. I want to give you some points to be written and you have to learn it by heart. We have written something for the parallel lines. Okay. After that, these are the points. So, please write it down. Two triangles are congruent if corresponding angles and corresponding sides are congruent. Next point. Two triangles are similar if corresponding angles are congruent and the ratio of corresponding sides is constant. Next. The tests to prove congruency of triangles are SAS test, ASA test, SSS test, SAA test, hypotenuse side test. Next point. In 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, the side opposite to 30 degree is half of the hypotenuse. Next, in a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, the length of base and height is half of the hypotenuse. Next point, centroid G, the concurrent point of median, divides each median in the ratio of 2:1. I repeat, centroid G, the concurrent point of medians and over the of a triangle, divide each median in the ratio of 2:1. Next point, the length of a median of the hypotenuse is half the length of hypotenuse. Next, every point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Next, every point lying on the angle bisector is equidistant from the sides of the triangle. Next, if the sides of the triangle are unequal, then the angle opposite to greater side is greater and the angle opposite to smaller side is smaller. Next, the sum of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. The sum of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. I am stopping here because for the next class, all these, I have given you 11 points. All these 11 points should be by heart for you, in the same words, in the same manner. Don't forget the 3 points that we have learned in the parallel lines. Okay. So for the next class, you should be learning all these points by heart. It will be asked to you anytime, you should know it. In the same order, in the same manner. Okay.